which was just phenomenal. So the church was trying to work with the young men and women to provide alternatives. That music and that was one way they did it.
Um, so how do you feel about the police today then? How do you feel about them pulling over children who don't do anything wrong or like accidentally killing an innocent?
Well, I think probably one of the most difficult jobs in the city of Chicago today is being a police officer. Um, I got to know some of the policemen who worked in Woodlawn. I felt I had pretty good relationships with them, um, but they were and they still are up against enormous um, obstacles. I mean, particularly in a area, say like Englewood or Chatham now to some extent, where there's a lot of young people on the street and with so many guns available, and they're patrolling, and so there's some incident, argument or something going on in the street, and they get out of their patrol cars. They don't know if somebody in that group has got an AK-47 or other kinds of armaments that um, could just immediately kill them. So, I mean, they have to be very, very cautious uh, when they inter- intervene in that kind of situation. And in the best of intents, that they might, injure somebody that's an innocent bystander. When I worked at the Illinois Council Against Handgun Violence, I got to know the police chief quite well because he was a strong supporter of gun control. It was Leroy Martin who was the superintendent, and I used to go down to Springfield with him. We traveled together on the train several times, and um, he was passionate about getting guns off the street. I mean, I heard him give testimony to the politicians down there in Springfield that just would have blown your ears off. I mean, he was just amazing. He was just passionate about trying to control the guns, and because he knew that that was if they could limit the number of guns on the street, they could limit the number of crimes and ultimately the number of deaths on the street. Um, so I had a great deal of respect for his work and what he was trying to do when he was in office.
So is he retired today or?
I think actually, I think he passed on a couple of years ago. After I left, as I said, I worked with the consul for 2 years, and I really kind of lost track of him. And then some other, he was, I think he retired, and then there was, forget the name of the fellow that came after him. But as I said, it's a tough, being a cop in the city of Chicago today has got to be one of the toughest jobs, because you have to make instant decisions um, in a situation that is chaotic, and it might be in the middle of the night that you can't see, and there's not enough light, and just all of the factors that go on to life on the street, and trying to sort out who's right and who's wrong, and who's got a gun and who doesn't in a instant is got to be a very very difficult job.
So do you think that the police chief today is doing a good job at what he was trying to do or trying to accomplish?
I think he is, but I would say the deck is stacked against him because the law got changed by the Supreme Court that the ban that we had here in Chicago on handguns was challenged by the Supreme Court, and they said no, that's unconstitutional. You can't have that kind of law on the books. So it was removed, and that was about 2 years ago. And there's just a flood of guns into the city, legal guns and illegal guns. I mean, now we have the the Supreme Court said it was legal to have concealed carry. And so the state's working out the process of clearance for people to have concealed carry. And they wanna, bring guns into the grocery store. Somebody with, 35 millimeter, gun on their hip, going into a store with people. Schools are not supposed to have, I think they said it, so schools will be, not have guns. But a lot of people will be just taking a gun and walking in the park.
So
Stand up? No?
he
Smile?
finna do it. So so it's been nice talking to you, and thank
Okay,
you.
Teresa, my pleasure.
Art.
Thank you very much.